Oh my God, you guys, my phone is buried underneath all of my palettes. I can't even get to it. This is hilarious. Oh my gosh, this is like Jenga. It's palette Jenga. Oh, and it happened. They all fell. I knew it. Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to today's video. The time has come. I absolutely need to declutter some eyeshadow palettes. You guys, I counted and I think I have nearly 60. That is correct. 60 eyeshadow palettes. I have them all laid out right in front of me right here. It is really crazy to put this into perspective. I cannot believe that I possess this many palettes. And had I not done a declutter, God, I think it was almost a year ago. It's been a year since I decluttered palettes last. I would probably have over 120 eyeshadow palettes. It's just crazy to think about, but it is time. I need to make some room in my drawers for some new ones. I do not throw these palettes in the trash most of the time. I usually give them away to friends, family, coworkers. So they definitely get put in the hands of somebody who can love them and appreciate them, because most of these are less than a year old and they need to go to a good home. So I'm just going to we're going to go right through all of these. I'm going to let you know if I'm going to keep them, if I'm not going to keep them. It's going to be almost like little mini reviews. I'll tell you why or why not I will be keeping them. You guys get the gist of what a declutter is. I'm sure you've seen plenty of them before. I have talked about doing this for some time, and it is definitely time. It is time to cleanse. It is time to get rid of some of this stuff. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. I'm just going to start from the top of the pile. You guys, there is no rhyme or reason for what I'm mentioning and when I mention it. It's just kind of as I see it. The first thing I see is my Morphe Jaclyn Hill The Vault collection. I really loved this, but I only reach for one, and that is the Armed and Gorgeous palette. This is something that I use actually quite often. I reach for this before a lot of other things. It's definitely gotten some use. These colors are just right up my alley. I love the yellows, oranges, the deep browns, the golden tones, the kind of olive army green right here. And I just love how small and portable. I actually brought this with me to New York when I went in June to get married. I travel with this. I love this palette. I do not reach for the others. So Bling Boss, Dark Magic, Ring the Alarm. I don't know why. I just don't reach into these other ones as much. I'm a neutral gal. I really am. But Ring the Alarm is actually quite nice. So I think I'll hold on to Ring the Alarm. Obviously Armed and Gorgeous. Dark Magic, God, it's so pretty. My best friend Sarah is obsessed with this shade Power Cut right here. But honestly, I haven't reached into this in a really long time. I'm on the fence, but it's time to purge, and I think I will let that one go. Bling Boss is really pretty too, but it is something that I would probably reach for the least out of all of these. So again, this one is definitely going to go in the giveaway pile. Moving on to the next, I have the Maybelline Matte Bar palette in front of me. I used this one time in a review. It's a good palette. If you're on a budget, I don't even know. I think this is still available. It should be. I think I just saw it at Target the other day. If you are on a budget and you want a nice everyday matte palette, I think that you would really enjoy this. But for me, I have never reached into it again. The colors just aren't quite there for me. It just doesn't speak to me. It's going into the get rid of pile. We have the Kylie palette. This was, what is the name of this? I don't remember. Was this the Under the Sea palette? I reviewed this on my channel recently. Again, another palette that I'm going to be getting rid of. There are some beautiful shades in here, but I'm just not super impressed with the formula in this one. I was really disappointed. I love this green shade down here, but you guys, since I reviewed it, I haven't reached for it. So it's going in the go away pile. Next, we have the Brown Sugar palette from ColourPop. I actually recently included this in my top 5 favorite ColourPop palette pile. Top 5 favorite ColourPop palettes. So definitely I will be holding on to this one. I love the shades in here. I love the mattes. ColourPop's formula is just, it's all-star. I absolutely love it. Another neutral palette, I know, but I love it so much, so I definitely will be holding on to that one. I have the Laura Lee Party Animal palette, another one that I used one time, and it was when I did a BoxyCharm unboxing, because that's how I got this palette. I will say though, I really like the colors in this. I like the neons. I think I might hold on to this one just for a little bit longer, and you might think that I'm crazy, but it's really honestly because I'm feeling daring, or I just want to do something a little bit fun. ton. This color right here, Karaoke, I don't have anything like this in my collection, or this super deep purple shade, this kind of glittery hot pink shade. I just don't have these. It's just a fun little palette, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna hold on to this one as well. From ColourPop, Main Squeeze. Haven't touched it since I reviewed it. I like these shades and I think it's really pretty, and of course the formula, I'm not going to keep repeating it. It's spot on. It's on par with ColourPop standards. It's just not something that I reach for. I love pink and red shadows. I just don't use them enough. So that one is going to go in the discard pile. Just My Luck from ColourPop. Definitely holding on to this. I am a sucker for green shadows. This is one that I do reach for every now and then. Obviously, it's not something that I would wear every single day, but I love the colors curated in this palette. I love the greens. The formula, again, did not disappoint. I love the metallics. It's just absolutely beautiful. I am not ready to part ways with that one. We have a few ColourPop coming up here. The Sweet Talk palette. Definitely keeping this. Love my peachy shades. Love the metallics in this palette. Love that Super Shock shadow. The only thing I don't use is the pressed glitters, but whatever. That's only 2 of the 12 shades that are in here. I love the packaging. I love the color story. Definitely holding on to Sweet Talk. Next we have Give It To Me Straight. I would never get rid of this palette because again, it's a beautiful everyday palette. It screams spring. I love dipping into colors like this when the weather starts to get a little bit warmer, so it definitely speaks to me. I love these shades. They are so romantic and gorgeous. So definitely holding on to that one. California Love, another ColourPop palette. Wow, I think I have a problem. You guys know I love this. Included this again in my top 5 favorite ColourPop palettes. Same with the Give It To Me Straight palette. Love this. Warm matte tones, golden shades. Hello, do you know me? Definitely my style, so that one will be kept. The Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette. I loved this for a moment in time. I reached for this over and over and over again when it first launched. Doesn't really smell like lemonade anymore. Kind of had like a sweet scent before. It's really pretty, but you guys, I have these shadows in other palettes, and I do have other palettes that kind of outperform this one. It's hard for me to let go of it because I really enjoyed it. I think I was so excited that I found a drugstore palette that I truly loved. So it's hard for me, but I think I am going to go ahead and part ways with the Lemonade Craze palette. Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is old and I should probably get rid of it and purchase a new one. Now I know you think that that's kind of crazy because I have these shades in other palettes, but there's something about Too Faced's eyeshadow formula. I am obsessed. And they always smell like cocoa powder. I love it. And this is a very nostalgic palette for me. This was like one of the first high-end palettes that I purchased prior to starting YouTube. I actually got it as a I shouldn't say I purchased it. My husband actually got this for me as a gift one Christmas. So it kind of holds a lot of sentiment. I know that might be a dumb reason to some people, but I am not getting rid of this quite yet. I am definitely going to keep my chocolate bar palette. You guys, I know that I have the Gingerbread Spice palette. I just realized I don't have that in front of me. Where did that go? I may have close to 60 eyeshadow palettes, but you best believe I know what's in my collection. Too Faced Gingerbread. I love this palette. This is one of my all-time favorite palettes. It is up there in my top 10 for sure. Not getting rid of this one. This one smells more vanilla, like sweet, and they're coming out with the Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette. I'll be honest, it doesn't look as exciting as this one, but I don't know why. I just really want it. I love Too Faced eyeshadow formula. It is one of my favorites. I have to hold on to this one too because it is so beautiful. Definitely a favorite, not getting rid of that one. Let's just kind of breeze through these ColourPop palettes that I have left. I have the I Think I Love You palette, Kathleen Light's collaborations. I have the Dream Street palette and the Zodiac palette. I really like I Think I Love You. I just don't reach for it anymore. The colors are really nice. It's a beautiful neutral palette, so pretty, but I think I'm gonna let it go, you guys. I have so many palettes and I kind of gotta really be strict with this and narrow it down, so I am gonna let that one go. And to be honest, I think I'm actually gonna let go of Dream Street as well. It's just not something that I reach for very often, so definitely gonna get rid of that one. Not getting rid of, ooh, I have eyeshadow all over my finger now. Not getting rid of the Zodiac palette. Hell no, not in a million years. This is one of my favorite ColourPop palettes, so I will be holding on to that one. This is one from Suva Beauty. This is the Saffron palette. As you can tell, Haven't even used this yet. This is something that I got in the subscription box. I don't remember which one. It might have been the Try Beauty box. I can't remember, but it's really pretty. I just don't reach for it. I don't know why. Maybe I need to try it out though. I think I'm gonna hold on to this just because I'm curious about Suva's formula. Not gonna get rid of this one. I will hold on to it because I wanna see what their formula is like. So I will keep that one. Melt Cosmetics, this is the Smoke Sessions palette. I love this palette, you guys, but look what happened to it. It completely fluffed up. I have no idea how this happened. And I say fluffed up because that's what it looks like. It looks like the shadows got fluffy. I have no idea how this happened. I actually emailed customer service and they've wanted to see a picture of this and I've been meaning to do it, but this is like unsalvageable. The mattes, the two matte shades are okay. It's just all of these metallic shades are just powdered up everywhere. This palette literally sat in my drawer. I only used it a couple of times after I reviewed it, but I love it. And it's a damn shame because I love the greens in here, especially the greens are too die for. They look like they're glowing on your lids. So I think I should probably send that in because I would love a replacement because this is a palette that I would hold on to. I love the colors. Colored Rain. I love Colored Rain. I think that they make probably, arguably, some of the best eyeshadows you can get. Their formula is just insane. It is perfection. This is the Cheers to Beauty palette. You can't get this anymore, but I picked this up when it was like a clearance item. It was going to be discontinued, which I'm so sad about. I got a lot of compliments on, what video was that I uploaded recently? I had like a brown eye look. I can't remember. It was like a couple videos ago, but I used shadows from this palette. I believe I used Vintage Feels, Raise a Glass, and Powder Room, and it just made like the most beautiful matte fall look. Obsessed, but these metallics in here are absolutely breathtaking. I love this highlight shade. This just screams like New Year's Eve in the city to me, and I love this palette. I will definitely not be getting rid of it. The packaging, the formula, the shades, I am obsessed. The Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie Patootie palette. I know that Laura had her controversy, but I will tell you that I love this palette. This is one of my all-time favorite neutral palettes. It's actually pretty unique, the shades in here. I know that when she was launching this, of course, people thought it looked very basic. It looked kind of muddy and muted, but you guys, when you get these shadows on your eyes, they are so beautiful. I love them. I think the pigmentation is kind of like, it's like spot on. It's perfect. They're not super crazy intense, but they're blendable, they're buildable, they're easy to use. I love the metallics in here. I love the kind of soft millennial pink mauve packaging. I will be holding on to that because I love it. Another Colored Rain palette, Queen of Hearts. Love this one as well. I have ranted and raved about this palette. One of my all-time favorites. Again, I would put this in my top 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes. This one you still can get. So beautiful. If you guys have not tried Colored Rain shadows, honestly, you're missing out. You need to try them. From Kylie Cosmetics, this was from her most recent Valentine's Day launch. I don't even remember what the name of this palette was, but I really like this palette. I think it's really pretty. The colors are gorgeous. I really love the metallics. I'm not quite ready yet to part ways with this. I was kind of on the fence, but I really love these kind of blush shades right here and this whole entire row of metallics. This deeper brown shade right here is absolutely gorgeous. The only two shades I really wouldn't use that often are First Date and Candy Heart. But if you take those two colors out, this is a beautiful palette. Definitely not ready to get rid of it yet. And what's nice about going through your eyeshadow palettes too is it gives you a chance to kind of revisit these again, and it will remind you why you held on to it possibly. So that's kind of what's happening here. It's a huge help. This is the Burgundy Extended palette from Kylie, another one that I love. This one is like the Give It To Me Straight palette, but like on steroids. It's just a little bit deeper colors. I absolutely love this. Not getting rid of this one. We will be holding on to that. The BH Cosmetics Opalescent palette. I am a freak when it comes to BH Cosmetics palettes. I love them. I am obsessed. This palette is gorgeous, but I just don't reach for it. You guys, I know it might sound crazy. You're like, well, why would you hold on to that palette with all those shades, but you wouldn't hold on to this one? I can't tell you. I don't know what it is. When I look at this, I don't know why. I just I don't know. It works beautiful. It is a gorgeous palette. If you're into something like this, I would say yes, definitely grab it. I just haven't really reached for it since I reviewed it. And yeah, I think that I would give this away because I know that I could find someone that would really, really, truly love this and would use it more than I would. So that one I am going to give away. The Too Faced Natural Lust palette. This baby isn't going anywhere. I love this palette. I think it might actually be on sale. It was at one point on Sephora's website. I don't know if it still is, but my goodness, these palettes are, these shadows are gorgeous. Again, Too Faced formula, I am a massive fan of. I can't get enough. Love the collection of colors in here. Absolutely beautiful. And this is the palette that I used on my wedding day. It went to New York with me. It holds a lot of memories, so I will definitely not be getting rid of that one. Now, this is a palette that I haven't even tested out yet, and I've actually been meaning to talk about this brand on my channel. This is the C'est La Vie palette from Rude Cosmetics. This is a really pretty collection of shades. Let me know if you guys want to see a review on this. They actually reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try some of their products, and I just haven't had a chance to try them. Look at this kind of like iridescent purple shade right here, this periwinkle blue, this green. Oh my goodness, this palette has beautiful pops of color. Oh, and that kind of fall mustard yellow right there. Yes, you guys, I think we need to test this out. So leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think, because Rude Cosmetics is a very affordable brand. So we will be holding on to that one. This is, let's see here, Makeup Geek palette. This was the Nudes palette, I believe it was called. I ordered this recently. Definitely gonna hold on to this because I really like Makeup Geek's formula. It's something that I want to play with more, and I love these shades. I love that there's a ton of mattes and just a couple of shimmery shades in here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am like living for matte shadows right now. So we're gonna be holding on to that. The ABH Sultry palette. I used this one time. I have tried over and over and over again to love the ABH shadow formula. Now this palette didn't disappoint me as much as some of the other ones. I don't know what it is, you guys. It's just their formula I am not the biggest fan of. I will say though that their metallics, they're very crumbly, but they are pigmented and they pack a punch. They are gorgeous. I think the main reason why I held on to this palette was because of the metallics. So pretty, but I just haven't reached for it. Despite that, you guys, I do think I'm going to let this one go, and it is going to be in the get rid pile. Blood Sugar palette from Jeffree Star. Another hell no, I would never get rid of this palette. My God, look at the packaging alone. So beautiful, and I love the colors in here. There are some of those pops of pinks and reds that I don't typically gravitate towards, but there are actually a lot of neutrals in this as well. Jeffree's formula is fantastic, and I absolutely love it. I think that Jeffree's products are some of the most innovative on the market right now. They are so inspired. I just love his color stories and the collection of shades and just everything about it. So I love Blood Sugar, and this, yeah, the formula just performs incredibly good. We have the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I loved this palette when it launched. I used it all the time. Oh my God, and it still smells like peaches. It smells so good. I don't think I can get rid of this one because it was like one of the first palettes that I did a review on, a review of on my YouTube channel. So it's nostalgia, and I really do love the shades, and they still work very well. Haven't used it in a while, but I love my mattes. I love the packaging. The scent of this takes me back, so I will be holding on to that one. The Daydream palette from Alter Ego. This is a really pretty collection of shades. I am going to be holding on to this one because Alter Ego is a newer dupe brand, so I'm very intrigued by their products. So I'm definitely going to hold on to this because I just want to keep playing with their formula. I am on their PR list. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy to say that a brand sends me PR, but Alter Ego sends me PR, and I want to have this for reference so I can compare it to the other palettes and the other shades and products that they come out with. So I need a reference point because this one was my favorite palette that I tried of theirs. Out of the 3, I believe, that they have launched so far, this one has been my favorite. So I am going to hold on to that. The BH Cosmetics Take Me to Ibiza palette. This one I just got. I love this palette. If I'm going to create colorful looks, this is it. The blues in here, the teals, I absolutely love the warm shades and these giant transition shades down here, which I enjoy that this is in here as well. I'm sure in the future I will probably let go of this one because I don't really reach for colorful palettes that often, but I do like to have a couple in my arsenal, and I really love BH's formula, so for now I will be holding on to that one. The Morphe Jeffree Star collaboration, this is the Artistry palette that he did in collaboration with Morphe. Another palette that I love. The neutral shades in here are some of my favorite neutrals. These greens, this black is the most intense black shadow that I have in any palette. So obviously I will be holding on to this one. The formula is gorgeous. Jawbreaker from Jeffree Star, another favorite. This is my favorite colorful palette, hands down. The metallics in here are freaking sickening. I don't even know. I don't know what is up with this palette or how he did it, because the mattes as well are like butter on warm toast. It just, the spreadability, the blendability, I absolutely love. I love this collection. I love the packaging. I love my Jeffree products, so I will be holding on to that. The Nouveau Neutrals from BH Cosmetics. This one I will be letting go of. I loved this palette. It was one of my favorites for a very long time. I created some beautiful looks. I did a tutorial with this palette. I also did a full review on it as well. So it was something that I really enjoyed for some time. But again, it's just kind of being overshadowed by some other neutral palettes in my collection right now. I just don't use it that often, so I will be getting rid of that one. The 35G Bronze Goals palette from Morphe. Another one that I am going to let go of. The mattes in here are really nice, and I'm sad because this palette is right up my alley with the shades. It is so sultry and bronzy and warm and summery and just so gorgeous. But it's just a shame that the metallics in this one just did not perform. So that one will be going bye-bye. Couple more palettes here from Morphe that I have in front of me. This was the 35, what was this one? 35S. This was the Such a Gem, or it still is. The 35S Such a Gem palette. I love this palette. These finishes right here in the center, this formula is bomb as shit. I absolutely love it. Love these purple shades. This palette is gorgeous. I haven't really used it that often, but I am going to hold on to it because it is gorgeous, and I do not have anything else like that in my collection. Morphe James Charles collab. I was really into this palette for a hot minute, but you guys, I'm gonna get rid of this one because, to be completely honest, I'm just not the biggest James Charles fan. I don't know, and I know that shouldn't really affect this because the palette is quite nice. The formula is pretty good, but it just comes down to that I don't reach for it. There are literally shades in this palette right now that I'm looking at that I haven't even touched. I just feel like this could go to someone that would appreciate this, that maybe doesn't have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, that wants something that's colorful, neutral, just has everything all in one, which is what I think that this palette is great for. I just don't use it. So I will be getting rid of that one. All right, you guys, we are down to the final. Every time I film, there is just a motorcycle that has to go zooming by. I really don't get it. Moving on, this is the Pat McGrath Mothership Midnight Sun palette. I just put up a video on this. I'm not going to get rid of this one. I paid $125 for this. I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to make a point of using this palette. I do love Pat McGrath, and the metallics in this palette are gorgeous, like next level insane. I think there's like 7 different formulas in this palette. I wasn't a huge fan of the mattes, but I can make them work. But yeah, I'm not going to be getting rid of that one anytime soon. I do need to play with it more. This one I am definitely getting rid of. In fact, I wouldn't wish this palette on my worst enemy. It's going to go into the trash. This is the Tarte High Tides and Good Vibes palette. This was a tragedy, mostly because I was disappointed in the formula. This packaging is adorable. Such cute packaging. I love the thought that went into this. You've got this giant mirror in here. It is gorgeous, and the colors are breathtaking. I loved everything about this. This palette had so much potential, but it just didn't live up to it. That one I'll probably just throw away. The Pat McGrath Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition palette. This one is not going anywhere. I love these shades. I love this formula. One of my all-time favorites, packaging A+, definitely holding on to that. The Zodiac Capricorn palette. So if some of you didn't know, I am a Capricorn. I had to have this. I really enjoy this palette, and the reason why I think I'm leaning towards holding on to this one because I love this highlight shade. I actually use this all the time, but this is something that is perfect for travel. If I'm going on like a day trip or going away for just a few days, and I don't want to bring makeup that is too spendy with me, and I just want something simple, this really is it. I love the shades in here. I love that it's Capricorn because yes, it definitely speaks to me. So yeah, and it's just kind of a nice, fun little travel size palette. So I think I'll be holding on to that. The Bad Habit Aphrodite palette. No, we'll be getting rid of this one. Not because it doesn't work well, but I just won't be using this. I haven't reached into it in such a very long time. This was actually sent to me, and Bad Habit isn't even a company anymore, and I don't even think you can get this palette anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. Alter Ego Goddess palette, just like I said with the Daydream palette, I'm going to hold on to this for reference. I actually really do like the mattes in here. The metallics are really nice. They're definitely metallics that you have to apply with your finger, but again, perfect travel palette. I love the shades. Really, really beautiful. Oh my goodness. Let's see. We've got another one from Bad Habit, the Athena palette. Another one that I just don't use and do not reach into. We will be getting rid of that one. Desert Oasis palette from BH Cosmetics. I was obsessed with this palette. I used it all the time when I first got it. These highlights in here are just so good, blinding, these highlight shades right here. I'm gonna hold on to this palette because the neutrals are amazing. The metallics in here are breathtaking, and the mattes are just like something that are on another level for the price. So I love this palette. Definitely gonna be holding on to this one. You guys, my mouth is getting very dry. I'm trying to hurry up and speed through these palettes that I have left here. This is from Butter London. I think this was like they're called the Goddess palette or something. Is that what it was? Natural Goddess. I'm gonna get rid of this. It's just not something, again, that I reach for. It's basically all metallic shades, and they're okay, but it's, again, another one that I just have way too many other palettes that I'm holding on to that have similar shades, and the formula just didn't blow me away. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm or something. I don't even remember. I have since canceled BoxyCharm. I just not into it anymore. So yeah, we're just gonna get rid of that. The Colored Rain Safari palette. Y'all know I'm not gonna get rid of this. Colored Rain's formula. Look at this collection of shades. This is like a fall time dream right here. I love these. They're so earthy. The pigmentation, yes. So much yes. Totally keeping that. The Douce palette, I hope I'm saying that right, by Juvia's Place. This one is pretty good. I do enjoy it, and I actually think that there are some pretty unique shades in here. I love the pan size, and I just got this recently, so I think I'm gonna hold on to this. This Mont Blanc shade right here is very unique. I love this green shade right here, Macaroons. Super pretty. So yeah, I think I'm gonna hold on to that one. The Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. I love this. This is something that I kind of use quite often. And I say kind of because it's in a rotation, but these shades in here are just everything. Love it. So I'm gonna hold on to that one. Love the packaging. Love Urban Decay Shadow Formula. Just absolutely love it. Another Alter Ego palette. This one I haven't even really dipped into yet, to be honest. This is a dupe for the Sultry palette. So like I said, again, with the other Alter Ego palettes, I will be holding on to it because I like to use it as a reference point because they are a newer brand, and as I try more of their products, I like to have an idea of the consistency, so I will be holding on to the Temptress palette for that reason. This was something that Amber Scholl came out with when Shop Hush was a thing. This was sold on their website. They are no more, but this is the 24 karat gold eyeshadow collection. This is really pretty, and I definitely like the metallics in this palette. For some reason, I am just wanting to hold on to this just for a little bit longer, but I don't know. You guys, you're seeing a decision in action right now. Should I hold on to it? No. You know what? No. I can't hoard it. I am going to go ahead and get rid of that one because I haven't reached for it, and I don't know what makes me think I'm going to reach for it anytime soon. The ABH Modern Renaissance palette, I picked this up last year because I was so desperate to know what the damn hype was with this palette. I feel like I was like the only one who wasn't obsessed with this and wasn't using it, so I was like, you know what? I need to get my hands on it. Used it a couple times. I don't really like how the shades look on my eyes. I don't know what it is. Things just kind of blended out a little bit muddy for me. I don't know if they had changed the formula since its original release. I just remember so many people just ranted and raved about this palette. I just don't use it that often, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I'm going to keep this one. I love this palette. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it definitely gets a lot of use. I do use this one quite often. I've put a good dent in the shade Weekender, the shade Riff, the shade Stranded, the shade Breakaway. I love this palette. It's beautiful, and I love the message with it, the Born to Run. So this one speaks to me. Again, I kind of had a personal moment with this palette. So yeah, I'm going to hold on to that one because it kind of has a little bit of meaning for me. The Jeffree Star Androgyny palette, I got this in, I think and it's got a broken shade in it. I didn't even know. I don't know how I did that. And that's a shame because it's a really nice deep brown shade. So I'll have to kind of try to repress that or do something, you guys. Oh, I hate when that happens. I never break pans of shadow. I haven't even had a chance to dip into this really. I just haven't. So I think I'm going to hold on to it because I do want to try it out and see what it is like. So we'll hold on to that. Jaclyn Hill palette. Obviously, I'm going to keep this one. I love this palette. It has been used and abused. It is so dirty and disgusting. I need to take a makeup wipe to this. But this is a palette that I recommend to everybody for the price, the collection of shades. If you are someone who just wants simple makeup, but you want to have those options. Who's calling me? Oh my God, you guys, my phone is buried underneath all of my palettes. I can't even get to it. This is hilarious. Oh my gosh, this is like Jenga. It's palette Jenga. Oh, and it happened. They all fell. I knew it. I should have just let it go to voicemail. The last palette is the Zodiac Love Signs palette from BH Cosmetics. I used this a few times after I did a review on it. The formula in this is gorgeous. The highlight shade in the center is delicious. I really, really enjoyed this palette, but there's something about the layout that turns me off. I feel like it's like a lot of wasted space. That would be some feedback that I have. I think it's cool and it's innovative and I get it. Like I get this whole thing and I love how like the corresponding shades are there. I just don't love it and I feel like it kind of deters me from reaching for this. So this is one that I think I am going to let go of. All right, you guys, so there you have it. I feel like I might have cut my collection in half. I think we made some good strides here, made some good decisions. I hope the palettes that I just had crash all over my floor did not break because I would be quite upset if that happened. So I'm going to go check on those. Let me know in the comments how many eyeshadow palettes you have acquired. Did this inspire you to kind of go through your collection and do a purge? I need to make way, you guys. I need to make room. It's just part of having a clear mind, you know? I need to have a fresh start. I had to get rid of some of these palettes. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it, share it, and of course be sure to subscribe to my channel before you go. I love you guys so, so much and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye guys!